What are you crazy about? You crazy about? That'll drive nuts for a while. Hello, Americans. Another friend, subscribers around the world. Back again, man. So this morning, got some cloud cover, man, that they didn't call for. I like that. So let's hit the tips. Talk about the weather for a minute. Out behind the wood shack, you know. Man, they've changed. I don't have my phone right here. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Down here on the Crick Bottom, our phones are our everything. That's our communication. That's our internet. That's our everything. And it is actually in there. Well, I was in there. Whoa. Edited a video a little bit ago and got the computer all set up, man. Got the video going. And I reach over because I got one of them power strips and got a battery for that camera, for this camera, charging. So I reach over there, man. I got my whole videos edited, man. Just putting it on because I've got to take. So I film this, you know, filming this video. And then I got to take the chip out of this camera, put it into the camera, download it, upload it, whatever you do, onto the computer. And then I take it, grab it, take it over to the editor on the computer, edit it, squish it, then put it back on the camera to download or upload it to, I don't know all them fancy whatever it's doing. But then download it or upload it to YouTube. Alright. So I got all that going, man. Got the video squished. It's saved. Thank goodness. Got it all squished and what am I gonna do with all these? Dude, I reach over to get the battery for this camera, and I hit the power switch. Shut everything down. So now I got it all in there. And then down here on the Crick Bottom, things don't move so fast. So it takes a little bit for that. Now the whole computer thing's got to warm back up. So, man, I gotta find me. I need to build me a damn tool shed for all these hand tools. So anyway, man, right now, I'm moving some of this crap out of my way. I stacked all these. I don't know how much you can see. But I got hand tools all lined up across here that I need to. Probably good enough now. But I'm getting my compressor moved. And then we had that rain, man. So I pulled the compressor in here, pulled the floor jack, the saw, everything, you know. Roofs, and roofs are your friends down here on the Crick Bottom. But now I'm going to, I guess you can see it, these rounds, I want to get these rounds split up so that I can start sawing up the lengths into rounds. Gotta keep that. Then I'll move on, man, doing the, like I said before, man, doing our fall snow cleaning or clearing. I guess you would call that snow clearing. You know, to make the pass and all that. Well, I want all this wood processed. So that ain't gonna happen unless I get her done. So that's what I'm working on right now. I need to dump the air out of this compressor. I don't want to blow crap all over myself. This over, I gotta blow out. Gotta have me a comfy place to sit, man. Should have scored that. Look at that thing, man. Rubbermaid, $1. Yard sale. There's the score. Get this thing set up. I gotta have a. Whoa, what happened, dude? Got this man, his ear's been hurting him. Been putting some stuff, giving him some antibiotics. Poor fella. Oh, Grizz, you was a poor fella too. Oh man. We're about ready. About ready to get rolling here. Oh. My little log splitter. Oh, funny thing too. Yeah, because Debbie Max got me this log splitter, this whole electrical. I love it. I have my big huge one, which is actually where I'm standing. I'm putting a roof over this to put my big huge one in here. But dude, I go to this little electric one all the time. Absolutely love this thing. Anyway, Debbie and Max. I had mentioned them, but I hadn't heard from them for a bit. And I get back down off the mountain, and lo and behold, postcards. I got thinking 3 postcards in there. I got to show some postcards. Make sure you get your postcards in that drawing. I don't know. I haven't even checked the count. I should. But after we go over that 20,000 mark, then we're going to do a drawing. But anyway, so I was happy to hear from you kids. They're doing the retirement thing, man. And this morning, of course, check the headlines, you know, see if we're getting nuked yet. Not yet, but it could happen. I'm not going to go too much into all that on this video, but I did watch the, and you should, man, every American should listen to it, is old Putin's speech that he did over there. Did for 15 minutes. All he did is talked about the U.S. and the West. Didn't even mention Ukraine. That ain't no good. I'll tell you what. I'm pretty sure they're going to use nukes. Not good. This morning, instead of listening to all that craziness, I listened to a bunch of, which is a funny thing, but a bunch of old timers telling stories, man. You know, mountain folks, old hillbillies, farmers, rednecks, country folk. And then it's a funny thing when you yourself are transitioning into the old timer position. Kind of strange. Because, yeah, to me, man, I think I still feel like me and Miss Kitty are newlyweds at 19 years old, 20 years old. That was a long time ago. But listening to them old stories got me, you know, and they're talking about area. You know, I got those little tiny, they usually don't come this early, but they're little tiny, I don't, guys shooting out there. Little tiny purple, let's see if I can show one. I just got one. Little bugs. If you can see that little tiny feather on there. Indeed, sometimes they usually come right before the rain. Get off there, man. They used to come from the ground. I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. Oh, so man, so they're talking about the old timers. Listen to the old stories, dude. I just love it. It makes me feel good. Very nostalgic, and especially in these troubled times, man. It's a great way to start off your morning. Miss Kitty absolutely loves it. She loves when I don't start off the. She knows we gotta listen to it. She don't like hearing the. You know, Miss Kitty's a ray of positivity. She don't like hearing all that mumbo jumbo going on in the world. So now these old timers, man, they're talking about their you know, their areas, their counties, where they grew up. You know, man, 2 or 3 of the ones I was listening to, the places where they were born, the cabins and shacks and stuff that they were born in are now under lakes because they turned the rivers or creeks into dams, dammed it up and turned it into a lake. That's pretty sad. I showed the one place. Didn't grow up, my whole life there. We had it for my whole childhood. Is up there in McCall, the cabin. I showed that. Which it's, well, it used to be right on the edge of city limits, which is now in the middle of McCall now these days. It got me pondering and thinking. I do that a lot. Got me thinking about, our county and actually the surrounding counties and everything. And thinking back, because I was raised by my grandpa. And grandma. Grandma was there. Ma was there too. But Grandpa was my guiding light. And Grandpa's my everything, man. What's going on over there? Anyways, I got me thinking about my county and my area and all that stuff. And my grandpa, I've talked about it before, man. He had Bose Seal Fast company, man. And Bose, B-O-W-E-S, not Bose like the speaker, but Bose Seal Fast. And he dealt Purelator, all the name brands, Duofast, all of it. What he did was went around, this is back when, service stations, gas stations, fuel stations, the convenience store that they are now. This is back when service stations, serviced your vehicle, they worked on your vehicle, they did your tires, they did everything, an old service station. There's still one down on State Street in Boise that, same old boy, I can't remember his name right now, but used to go in there with Grandpa all the time to fill his stuff up. But anyway, and Grandpa did the tire shops too. He supplied, he's the one that brought around patch, to patch your tubes or tires back then. He was one of the first ones to bring in the old plugs, that if you get a flat tire, you got a hole in it, man, you can take that corded, stuff, man, and do a plug in your tire. Grandpa was one of the first ones to bring that into this area. Oil filters, air filters, wheel weights. I'm just thinking, because at 6 years old, I started working in the warehouse loading his truck at 6. This freaking world needs to get back to that. But, I made $1.50 an hour. And I had to be at work. I got out of school at 3, and I had to be at Grandpa's, which Grandpa was down a block from where we were as a kid. And I got out of school at 3 and had to be to work by 4. I was late the one day because I got my ass whooped. And crap, I get there, dude. Then I got in this fight, man. First the only one I ever lost. But, man, I learned after that, dude, just lose your mind. But, I got my ass whooped. I got kicked when I was down and everything, man. I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old. And, I showed up, man, after, of course, we met out behind the pump house at our elementary school. And this kid, man, he was in boxing at in grade school, man. He took boxing and everything. Dude, I took 2 swings at that kid. He dunked both and just freaking knocked the crap out of me. Anyway, so I was late, dude. I didn't get to work, man, because I got, of course, we got hauled into the principal's office and all the hoorah after school that went along with that. And I showed up late to work. First the only time I ever showed up late. Got there like 4:30 or 4:45 or something. And Grandpa, man, he was not happy. So, man, he's telling me, dude, man, got a bloody, dry blood on my face and stuff like that. And, so, man, I got my butt whooped. I got beat up. And he's all, well, that's good for you. What the hell? Oh, it was. It taught me not to lose, man. Bite, freaking, you kick him in the butt, your balls, whatever you got to do, dude. Make sure you come out on top. See, that's how these flow. So that's listening to these old timer stories and stuff. And that's how it goes, because you start on one direction, and there's so many stories that, dude, it's like they flood in. And I don't know if it just comes with age, but they just flood into you, man, and I love it. All right, man. So we got a change of plan. What is this old freaking? That's all I can see. Sorry, dude. But this whole old wood cigar box picked up at a state sale a while back. Man, it's got that one's from 1980 with a bunch of old letters in. That one is going to Weezer, Idaho, Hammond, Oregon. Merry Christmas. I gotta dig through, man. I love all that old stuff. That one came from Morfino. I love Morfino. That's where I'd probably, yeah, someday. That was where we wanted to use the cabin, but it too has skyrocketed. A lot of junkers and hillbillies over in the Morfino area. It's kind of a little cool tin. Candle holder. Keeping it. I was keeping it. So anyway, man, I ended up out here. Miss Kitty, I was over there splitting wood, and Miss Kitty came over and told me that she needs some drafts and stuff to take pictures of, you know, for sale, 'cause that's how we make our living. So in other words, man, I need to get on and get some cha-ching. The shelf that, actually the shelf that you're sitting on right now is the eBay list stuff out here in the junk shop. And, dude, I got so much freaking junk out here that it's, look at this basket. Man, look at that mother. So awesome. So, oh, dude, I've been looking for that. So much crap out here, so I'm gonna get her. So I'm just gonna sit here on my butt. That's good. Hey, how you doing, man? See if we can get you up a little bit. Look at these crystals. I got a whole bin of these, man. I love how this guy come out here. It was like a kid in a candy store. So, yeah, so I got to get this stuff back. But I wanted to finish off the, you know, kind of was talking about the old timers, old boys, and the stories. Gonna have a hell of a time with me. Oh, and I was thinking about the county. Oh, look at these. Maybe I just need to be showing you all my junk. These old bottles, man. These are freaking cool. Inca, Pisco, Lima. I don't know where these are. From Peru. Man, are those awesome? Glass. I have two of them. I forgot all about them. So actually, I'm going to take those in to get listed. Shazam! Sorry, I shouldn't get too. I switched, man. The boss lady came and told me she needed some crap done. Got to keep the little woman happy or you be in big trouble. Look at this one, dude. I love this one. I love it. I think I actually had 3 of them. I thought I only got 2 of them. I forgot all about them. So, yeah, I was thinking about, you know, listen to them old boys, man, talk about their county and stuff and their families. And so then I just start reminiscing about, you know, where I live and, well, my history and roots and of days gone by. It's funny, all the When you're younger and stuff, the days are going by and you don't even realize it. So, this area here, you know, I was talking about Grandpa on the Bose truck, that I started working, that I got off on my squirrel, got off on my getting my butt whooped and all that. Well, you know, growing up with Grandpa, like I said, man, he was the Bose man, so he went around and he serviced the service stations. So he kept the, you know, like I said, the patches and the oil filters and the fuel filters and the, you know, everything automotive, you know, valve stem, I mean, everything, dude. The old Christmas trees, Grandpa had, man, we had the cards of the, you know, the Christmas tree air fresheners, you know, and that was, I guess the other place you could buy those was statewide. There was an old automotive place in Boise in the 70s. You know what I mean? It was old. I wish it was still there. It was amazing. Old store, man, the smell. And that's the, man, when I go into the service stations, you know, there ain't many of them left. An old garage service station and tire shops, dude. I'm just like, oh, and the memories just flow back. So anyway, in our county here, man, you know, we had the place in McCall, and we'd do a loop, or one of Grandpa's routes, man. He had them all over, and he took care of all the service stations and everything down in Boise, Nampa, Caldwell, Marcy, you know, New Plymouth, all the flatland places around there. He did too, and then once a week he made the run up here, and we'd go to, you know, unless I was in school, we'd go to, you know, stopped in Horseshoe Bend, then on up to Banks, man. There was Banks too, you know, if you're new to the area, man, you know, you got Banks there where you turn off to go to Crouch and stuff like that, but back, I think it was 1.5 miles back towards Horseshoe Bend, there was a service station. They had a little motel thing and river access and everything along the Payette, and it was called Banks 2. And, oh man, Kitty might remember, probably 1995 or somewhere around there, that had a big fire. And then, you know, and then the rains came, and the fire and the whole hillside ended up washing out Highway 55 and took Banks 2 and put it into the river. You know, and they never built back. And his old boy, man, he was Grandpa's age. You know, and I was in 94. He still had the old shop, man, old mechanic shop, had a 2-bay, man, just old, you know, my kind of buildings, man, the old buildings and stuff. Man, that was an awesome place. He's a neat old guy. So anyway, so we'd go to Banks 2, go over, man, Garden Valley, the little in Crouch, and then in Garden Valley, used to be little service stations, on up to Cascade. Cascade, a lot different back then. You know, we're talking 70s. Man, I remember the Chevron, that's now, I think they're selling cars from the dealership. The dealership, they sold a few cars there and stuff back then, but it was more a garage and stuff. Service that. The old gas station there. Harpo's. You know, none of them, they're all different. Anyway, there was a good handful of them there in Cascade. And then we'd cruise on up from Cascade. There's a couple in Donley, Idaho. And then there was Lake Fork. Lake Fork had the one, and man, back then they used to have a cross on the other side from the service station. Back then, there was they'd built a cover, you know, one of mine out of lodge poles and stuff. Man, it was huge, and they actually had a yard, or not a yard sale, but a flea market that ran there on the right hand side back then. Man, and it was like, man, I've always wanted to, you know, have a full time. I've been involved in some before, but a full time flea market thing, you know, where you have the tables and everything, and you got a cover, and people just come throw their stuff out. I think, man, that's how that one was, man. It was awesome. So then from there, you go on up to McCall, man. There was obviously a bunch in, you know, McCall, the service stations, everything that used to be there. Some are still there, a couple of them. And then, you know, and then you'd head down and go into Meadows and New Meadows. And, those ones are long gone. Then on down to Council. And council had man, dude, I'm trying to remember. I think 3. You know, and it's funny because specific ones, you know, some of them, man, obviously, man, the people that are more friendly are the ones, you know, especially as a kid, as a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid. You know, it's the ones, man, because in Cambridge, Clyde Snell, man, I remember him like yesterday. He was so awesome, man. And Clyde Snell had the station when you come into Cambridge, you know, on Highway 95 coming from the north. Clyde Snell, man, that said there was a sign thing right above his door that said Clyde Snell. They just took that thing down. I've tried to waiting to catch. That place is sold. You know, Clyde's long gone. Service station's been closed down. Whew, man, I don't even know, man. I've asked Grandma before. She don't remember all that. But anyway, Clyde Snell had his little service station there, man. He was my favorite one because we'd meet Clyde Snell for cinnamon rolls. Because across him, Miss Kitty might remember, they just changed the name of the little restaurant thing. And it was Aunt something. Across the street from Clyde's service station, man, he'd lock the door and we'd go over and have cinnamon rolls, you know, they'd cinnamon rolls and coffee, man. Man, the Aunt B, or what was that, Aunt B's? Oh, I can't remember what the name of it was, man. Best dang cinnamon rolls, man. I remember that as a kid. It was great. And that's kind of like the guy on the Banks, too, man. He was just an old mountain man. He looked about like me, you know, running that service station, but he's a mechanic. Great old guy, man. He had freaking knives and guns and, you know, everything all over the shop, man. Heads on the wall, all that. Dude, I just love it. See that? So that's why you ended up with me, man, is all that, you know, all these grandpa experiences. You know, and then on down from there, we'd go on down, you know, Weezer. I really like Weezer. That whole loop, man, is all my, you know, man, that follows my whole mountain, you know, and I'm living right in the middle of all that, man, and so many memories, man. It's funny, I'll be up cruising up through the, that hasn't happened in a while, you know, especially this time of the year, because right now, which we are planning on, obviously some more fishing. I'm going somewhere else to go fishing. I'm going to go catch me some dang fish. And then we're going to go look for some bear-tooth mushrooms. So we're going to go up in some other mountain ranges. But anyway, man, I'll be driving along. And, dude, all of a sudden, wouldn't really call it one of those deja vu things. I haven't done one of those for a long time. But kind of like that. But, dude, I'll pull into somewhere and, you know, that feeling you just been there. Man, I'll start, you know, I'll just stop and start looking around and thinking about it, man. And, man, I will in my mind, you know, what we were doing, man. Because, you know, whether we were up there mushroom hunting with Grandpa, getting firewood, or fishing, or just, man, he's like I am, and we'd just take off through man, we would drive for hours, just driving the old back roads, just the old logging roads, man. That's where I got that. It's in my blood, man. I just love that, you know, and then get out and frickin', you know, explore and hoof it, and, oh, dude, man, I miss that guy. Anyway, man, that's just a few little memories, and that's what I'm doing right now is actually why I had originally started this channel, you know, it's more for my kids and grandkids. I just got, man, pondering, listening to them old boys today. Man, it's a good way to listen to some of that positivity stuff, man. Look up some of them old stories from the old timers right here on YouTube, man. Look it up. Man, I'm trying to think of the one channel that I really like. The guy, man, you know, and you get the guy with his voice, man, just a great voice. And the tales. And then not only that, the one I was watching this morning was somebody I'd never even heard of, and it was actually, you know, just an old boy. He was filming an old boy telling the stories too. That one, man, that was like a 20, 25, 30-minute video. It was great. Get some positivity, man. Don't forget to definitely get some positive things in these crazy, scary times, man. Good Lord willing, and them creeks don't rise. We'll be back again tomorrow. See ya.